I like steam engines and thought it might be a nice idea to make a Top Gear item about them. But producers know best, and mine said no. I thought I got away with it one weekend last summer when we stumbled upon this little lot at the Red Rose Steam Museum near Manchester. Obviously something was going on in this Lancashire field on Saturday afternoon, with commercial vehicles of all shapes and sizes appearing. In fact, they were there to prepare for their annual raid on Yorkshire, otherwise known as the Historic Commercial Vehicle Society's Trans-Pennine Run. Among those present were the Tennant family from Lanark.
You've had a long drive down here, Gillian.
Yes, we have. We left last night at 12:15 and we arrived at 8:30 this morning.
You drove through the night from Scotland?
Yes, quite a that way, less traffic for us to hold up.
The vehicle was built in 1955. It was used 11 years in general haulage, then a showman had it before I bought it about 1986. The original engine was an AEC, of what size I don't know, but it has now a Gardner engine at 112 horsepower. And with the trailer, that vehicle could gross legally 32 tons with only 112 horsepower.
That's quite low, that power, isn't it?
It's very low against present-day standards, because for 32 ton now, they wouldn't be thinking of anything less than 300 horsepower.
Ah, comment ça va?
Bonjour. I'm not French.
Oh, you're not?
No.
What are you doing in this then?
Well, we found this in France in April this year, and drove it back and totally restored it here in Manchester. The chap was still using this as his regular everyday transport when I found this in April. And it's just so different, it's just so unusual.
And what do all these other competitors think of having a foreign vehicle among them?
I don't know yet. I just don't know. It's. I just hope it's going to make it to Harrogate.
Oh, it should
Well,
be made it from France.
it's made it from Finisterre, so there's no reason at all why it shouldn't make it to Harrogate.
Right. Ah, the Bedford, once upon a time Britain's most popular truck. Did you restore this, Bill?
Yes, I bought it in scrap condition in 82, and it took me while 1986 to do it. Upside at Bungalow. That's where I live, like, you know, in drive, side at Bungalow. And then in 1988, I managed to drop on the original Scammell coupling and trailer up in Middlesbrough.
And it's a Bedford Scammell. Well, that's fairly unique, isn't it?
Well, yes, because Bedford used to supply chassis and cab to Scammells, and Scammells used to fit the scoupling on to take their trailer. That's how you come to have Bedford Scammell badge on. And you got two guarantees then. One from Bedford's and one from Scammells.
And I see you're in the Bedford Drivers Club. Does that still exist?
No, that don't exist now. That was when you could get a room for 1 and 6.
Oh, I see. So all drivers of Bedford lorries have special rates?
They had special rates, yeah. That's what BDC was, Bedford Drivers Club.
We couldn't find digs for 1 and 6, but we had a better night than most of the participants who slept in tents or in their vehicles.
7:30 a.m. and that's the first of the convoy set off on its merry way across the Pennines. Only another 290 more to go now, but I'm not going to hang around here. I'm going to take part in this amazing extravaganza. Where's my friend Bill and the Bedford Scammell? Morning. Morning, Joe.
Call them nutters, eccentrics, or what you will. This is an event for the enthusiast. Starting on the famous East Lancs Road, it tends to stick to the major highways. Now, you might think it's all very easy, but there's a lot of skill in driving these old-timers, so you've got to know what you're doing.
The idea with these old vehicles is to try and jump traffic lights, if you can. Then you're not having to set off from a standing start.
Trundling through Todmorden, the convoy then took to the hills. At Hebden Bridge, which calls itself the centre of the Pennines, there was a goodly turnout to observe the proceedings. I left Bill and his Bedford to his own devices and thought it was time to hop on a bus. The question was, which one? this 1955 ex-Leeds City Transport Leyland Titan looked like the one for me.
Enjoying it?
Yes, very much indeed.
You've come all the way, have you?
Yes, all the way from Manchester to Harrogate. It's a 71-mile run.
Have you paid your fare?
Oh, we're all friends. We sort it out between us.
I got my bus pass.
You got your bus pass? You've handed over the driving bomb.
Yeah.
Oh,
At the moment, it gets a bit tight in there. A bit warm and a bit tight.
I mean, what's it like to drive, okay?
It's very nice, yes, very pleasant. A bit bumpy, but I mean, obviously it's only meant from going from one stop to another, but okay, I've no complaint.
This is the life. In a moment, I'll tell you why. The most famous fish and chip shop in the world is one of the unofficial stopping points on this year's Transpennine Run. But everything's pretty unofficial about this event. There are no time cards, no time schedule, very easy route instructions, and no penalties. In fact, all they've got to do is get there.
Suitably nourished, we all set forth, providing everyone could find their way out of the chip shop car park on the final leg over the hills towards Harrogate. Although the event keeps off the steepest mountain roads, one or two look to be running out of puff as the day wore on. It's 60 years since this machine first took to the road, but here's a relative youngster. Mr. Sibley's Albion started life in 1937 and is still going strong.
We've done 150,000 in it, but it started with ICI in Billingham in 1937, running cement out. They had 3 lorries, and then they commandeered 2 in the war and left them with this one. So I expect it worked day and night then. And after that, it worked for part of the Leyland Group.
Now, I mean, this is actually real coal on the back, is it?
That's right, yeah.
When are you going to deliver that?
When I get back home, probably take me most of tomorrow to get back home, and then it'll be delivered after that. We bought it 25 years ago, and we bought it so we could use it for business and go to rallies, and we're still using it.
So it's paid for itself, has it?
I should hope so, yeah.
The last thing you expect to find in a field in Harrogate is a London bus. But here on this event, there are 3 of them. And just as in real life, they all arrive together. John, this is a fine machine. A lot of work gone into it.
Yes, 14 years.
You've been working on it for 14 years?
Yes, 14 years, hard, solid slog. Well, when I bought it, it was very run down. I rebuilt the engine, put some new bearings in, pistons, re-rung the pistons. It's had a different gearbox. We've rebuilt all the bodywork. It's had new panelling on, new window frames, and as you can see, a nice coat of paint.
2 years ago, Top Gear followed the Southport-Blackpool bus rally, where one of the stars of the show was William Hunter's Bedford OB, beautifully restored by Norman Wade.
Have you had to do much to it since we last saw you?
No, nothing. We do nothing to it. Well, it's checked, you know, but only petrol and oil, that's all, and very little oil, actually. It's been about 2,000 miles since we saw it last, so it's just about run in now.
The Bedford OB with Mr. Hunter from Tarleton. Mr. Wade is accepting the
I must say, the enthusiasm of everyone was quite infectious. I couldn't believe how hard everyone worked, and they called this a hobby.
It's a very acceptable habit too. It's it's credit to the coach, not to me, you know, basically. I mean, although we don't put a lot of oil in the coach, you know, we have to burn a bit of midnight oil to get it here in this condition.
Well, 90% of the vehicles have made it uphill and down dale here to Harrogate. Now, if you ask all the drivers here, they'll say that the joy is having taken part, but there has to be a winner, and this is it. The best turned out vehicle is John Ward's splendid 1947 Foden timber tractor, Big John.